All right, what's going on, y'all? Broken Games HDR back at it again with another video. So I'm minding my business, playing games, capturing footage for this, this little passion project video series that I've been finally started to work on. I've mentioned it on the podcast, finally getting to do it and stuff like that. Look forward to putting it out, see what people think about it. But I'm doing that, and we learned that there were going to be some layoffs at Microsoft like a week ago, right? We knew they were coming. Um, and then I see across my feed 9K people laid off. I'm like, God damn, I didn't know it was going to be that much. I thought it was going to be like maybe, I don't know, 1,000 or something like that, maybe a little over 1,000. I didn't think it was going to be like another huge layoff. I don't remember how much the last layoff was. And yes, in the grand scheme of Microsoft, uh, that's not a lot of people. That's only like 4% of their workforce. But these companies be so goddamn bloated. The fact that you even need to lay off 9,000 people is kind of crazy. Um, but I just didn't think it was going to be that much, right? But I'm not going to make a video for that. If I made a video every time the one of these gaming companies laid people off, y'all know I would literally just have to make constant videos. So a lot of recently I haven't even been making videos about it. We mentioned it on Weapon Wheel in passing at this point. It's like, all right, these people got laid off. Let's move on. So the layoffs wasn't nothing to me. And then I saw I saw no, actually I saw this was it Everwild game? Was it is it called Everwild? Because I honestly, oh yeah, Everwild. That wasn't Everwild the game that was announced like I want to say 8 years ago, and oh no, it wasn't 8 years ago. It was like 6 years ago. Close enough. Um, and it was for all intents and purposes canceled. Like we looked at it as I think most people looked at it as canceled, even though it wasn't officially announced. But now it's been officially announced. Um, But no, that's not really news. Who cares? We already assumed it to be canceled, even though we weren't given confirmation. So that's not newsworthy either. Whatever. And I wasn't sure. I'm not sure. I don't think all of these are layoffs in the gaming division of Xbox. I mean, in the gaming division for Microsoft. I think it's mainly the gaming division, but I'm not completely sure on that. So those two pieces of things, I'm like, that's not really news. I'm not making a video for that. But then I see somebody say that Perfect Dark is canceled and the initiative is shutting down. I think I was like, I'm getting centelled. This is another one of them NBA centelled accounts. I deadass didn't believe it. I'm like, that's fake. I'm like, that's fake. So I'm like, I scroll looking for somebody, somebody actually reputable and believable to confirm that Perfect Dark is canceled. And that shit really canceled. What the hell is canceled? That shit really canceled. I was like, what? Huh? Perfect Dark? Because, first of all, I always thought that Perfect Dark looked mid. And you can actually go check my tweet when we first saw the quote unquote gameplay from the showcase, what was it, last year? And now that gameplay is actually being reported as it wasn't actually gameplay. There was no game there. It was just like visuals. Really. It wasn't actually any like game. There wasn't no game there to be played. And development of it was going horribly. So all of that was just fake. It was just yeah, smoke and mirrors. There was no actual game there to be played. And I was like, "No way." Because I always thought even though the gameplay once again to me looked mid, I always felt like that it was a game that was definitely going to come out, and I always for some reason felt like they were close to the end of development for some reason. I don't know where I got that from. I don't know if I made that up in my mind but I always thought like, oh, it was close to being complete and it was just going to release in 2026. Uh cuz I'm like, didn't they give us a 2026 release date or something like that? I could have sworn they did. So And the initiative, if you remember, if I'm remembering correctly, this was the game and the studio that that claimed they were was claimed to be like a quadruple A studio and the first quadruple A game. Am I remembering that correctly? That was this game, right? And the initiative were partnering with who were they partnering with on this game? There was somebody that they were partnering with to make this game, unless that was I should have looked this up before the initial. What was it? Wasn't it like was it Eidos? No, it was Crystal Dynamics. Yeah, they were co-developing the game with yeah, Crystal Dynamics. Yeah, the initiative was were developing with Crystal Dynamics with a reboot of Perfect Dark. And it was first officially announced in 2020. Wow, and now 2025, it's gone. So, and there's a bunch of other studios that have been hit with layoffs. So Ravensoft, this is one of the studios that's helps with the Call of Duty development. They've been affected by layoffs. Turn 10 Studios, they fit. What a report says nearly 50% of the staff were let go for Turn 10. What? Hold on, isn't Turn 10? Am I confusing Turn 10? Who? No, okay. Turn 10 doesn't work on Horizon. Forza Horizon. Turn 10 only works on the official, like the mainline Forza series, if I remember correctly. Let me make sure I'm not tripping. Let me make sure I'm not tripping with that. Doing development in real time, yeah, because Playground makes is making Fable right now, and Playground makes Forza Horizon. So, um, and so yeah, the just the and we know Forza, just the mainline Forza games. When was the last Forza that came out? 20 oh, okay, 2023, so that was 2 years ago. But, yeah, this is not like Forza the mainline series is not the popular shit that be selling. This is one of those rare situations where the spinoff eclipses the main game, and so, yeah, they probably don't need all that staff. So, yeah, but losing 50% of your staff, that's I don't know how big the studio was, but that's crazy. As I already mentioned, Rare and Everwild, they were affected by the layoffs, and Everwild is canceled. Um, a new MMORPG from the Elder Scroll Online developer ZeniMax Online Studios, codenamed Blackbird, was also canceled and was in development from 2018. I mentioned Perfect Dark and the initiative. High Moon Studios, they're also another team that helps out with the Call of Duty, um, yearly installments. And Sledgehammer Games, another studio that works on Call of Duty. All of them had layoffs. So, gaming industry, bro. This is I keep saying that like they're gonna lay off so many people that there's gonna be like a base where that they reach that, oh, we can't lay off any more people because we need somebody to do the work. But that base keeps getting lower and lower. I'm like, oh, there's no way. Like every time, I'm like, okay, there's no way they can do like another round of major layoffs. But it's like, even as these companies do major layoffs, they be hiring people right back. That's the thing. They lay off people and then grow again. Maybe not to the amount to where they okay, we're back at we were where we were right before we did the layoffs, but they still be growing right back. And then financial things happen and changes happen, and like, oh, got to lay off a whole bunch of those people again. Like, because right now, literally, as people are getting laid off, it's always funny to me because I be on LinkedIn and like I'll see a company announce. oh, we did this many layoffs, and then go look at their LinkedIn or their job page. Just a few days later, they're hiring a shit ton more people. Like it don't stop nothing. Like layoffs don't mean that you're not hiring. That's the funny part. So it's wild, bro. It's wild. Gaming industry, bro. Um, we got to get to a point where of stability. Got to get to a point of stability because this is like this severity of layoffs is not the norm. Like last generation, generations before this one, layoffs were not shocking or strange. The quantity and the and just how often it happens is the bizarre thing this generation. So, wild times, bro. Um, this this is this is why when people argue and bring up like I don't be looking at like financial reports for nobody. I don't care and I don't look at financial reports for like, oh, Microsoft and PlayStation and Nintendo. Oh, they made this much money and they're seeing more profit and more more revenue than ever before. I don't look at that stuff because for one, I'm not good with numbers and financials and all that shit and like the complexities of corporations. I don't really know what none of that shit means because there's just a lot of things that go into that into like, oh, they made a lot of money. Okay, but a company is a very complex thing. So that doesn't mean you could be doing very well as a company and still need to make layoffs. That's the thing. Like layoffs don't mean that your company is doing bad. So them making a lot of money, sure, that could point to the fact that they're doing very well financially. But as I've seen, and I like I said, I've been laid off before. Companies lay off so they can continue to do well. Sometimes it's not that they're doing bad; they just want to make sure they continue to do well, and they got the geniuses in there that crunch the numbers, and they can see like, oh yeah, we're doing well, but we like for the future because you can predict the future with money and finances on it. We need to do these type of layoffs, and sometimes that just be the case. It's sometimes it's not layoffs for because like things are bad immediately. It's for future proofing. So um that's why like all the numbers and financial reports don't be meaning nothing to me. The only thing I'd be interested in is like how much a game sells or anything like that. But as far as not, oh, how much a company made, I'm like, I don't care about none of that shit. How much a game sells and how much, that matters to me because that tells me different information that pertains to me as a gamer. But we still in a wild, wild west with these layoffs in the gaming industry, bro, and instability. I keep saying it. Being a game developer or being in the game industry is probably one of the worst jobs you can ever have if you care about if you care about job security and stability. I would never do it. It's horrible. Would never do it. I'm glad I can just sit here as a fan of gaming. I'm glad I could just sit here in my chair, be in a completely different industry where I feel like I'm pretty safe and just talk about this shit and just have a few hundred thousands of y'all to talk to. It's safe here. I would never want to go over there. It's safe. All right, y'all. I'm out. Peace.